One's ready. One's ready. Go!
Your drive is no longer motivation. Why do you guys run? Why do you go work out? Is it because of motivational video? What is it? It's purpose, right? That others may live. And I need you guys to understand that, all right? Drive is your ability to keep going when you don't want to keep going.
Telling you what, if you just make that your default,
Everybody understand?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. You're in the team room. Before we get into this next episode, I've got two folks love for you to see. TastingGains.com, if you guys are looking for some premium creatine gummies, whether they're for yourself or for your kids.
Holy crap,
over to
kids
Tasting-
creatine? Jared, is creatine safe? Has anybody studied it?
Yeah, funny
Why would
enough.
I give it to my
a lot of-
children?
Yeah, right. It is sugar-free, dairy-free, and no artificial ingredients. So, hey, there you go.
The most studied supplement of all time with almost zero side effects and all positive. It's mostly if your stomach can handle the amount of creatine that you need to be taking in. That's
If you can handle the amount of Monster that Trent drinks, then
I don't know what
you
you're
can
talking about.
handle this. So
That's a lot of Monster for y'all. I do not
yeah.
recommend.
You guys can visit them at and get yours at tastygains.com. Also, if you guys head over to the website, onesready.com, and you go to the top right-hand side where it says prep and then partner discounts, scroll down to where you see modern athlete strength systems. And there's going to be two pictures there. There's the Warfighter 12-week programming, and then there's the AFSOC prep 12-week program. You click on either one of those pictures or any of the hyperlinks, and it's going to take you to that program on Train Heroic. You get signed up. Train Heroic's an app that pops up on your phone, delivers the workout to you every single day. You can log it in there. You can figure out substitutions in case it's telling you to hop on an Echo bike, but you don't have an Echo bike, so it'll give you
an Echo bike.
if you're poor and you don't have an Echo bike, then you can it'll give you a substitution, that kind of stuff. You can also chat with people in terms of like, hey, what are you guys doing for this and that kind of stuff. But if you want the discount, you do have to use the promo code One's Ready to get that discount. So check them out. There's people signing up for the Modern Athlete Strength System damn near every day. It's awesome.
Do we promote a lot of things, and we love them all. But Mass, those guys, they're so great. Check out the episodes that we've done with them. Good people. Their nutritionist is insane. Is he crazy? Yeah. Is he a nutritionist or diet? I don't know. Whatever he is, dietitian.
We might be insulting him by calling. I don't know. I
hope so. I hope so. Yeah. But Jimmy over there's the man.
The
man.
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, definitely go check them out. So, all right, enjoy this episode. We'll see you later.
Banger. Do the kids still say banger? Can I say that?
Banger. Yeah.
It's a banger.
All right. Enjoy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the One's Ready podcast. Jared, why was the death by 1,000 clicks thing that you read this morning? And we all know you love reading. Why was that your favorite thing you've ever seen on the Airmen NCO, Senior NCO page?
Oh, see, so see about that thing. When I opened it up at 4:45 this morning, I was trying to get ready for the gym. Hence me saying like, boy, that's a lot of reading. I will get back to that. Which then prompted the response of, that is the number one reason why we need to keep SR, because you guys can actually read, and all controllers know how to do is dip or do Zen, ride Harleys, have drinking problems, and nonstop talk about watches on the CCT signal chat, and maybe a little bit of like.
Are you guys doing the watch thing too?
A little bit DV stuff, sprinkled in too. So whatever.
Are you guys doing the watch thing, or is everybody trying to get everybody to like throw like 12 grand in or something for the Omega?
Like it's just nonstop at this point. It's the latest thing now that we've kind of gotten past. Well, we're never past the watch thing.
It's a recurring theme.
The last,
guys,
it's a recurring
just
thing. Somebody
only $10,000 each. It's a really good investment, and it's going to have the combat control flash on it.
Yeah. So you have that part of it. And then you also have, there's two controllers that are both retired or no longer in that are suing each other about stuff. So that's always fun.
That's good.
And then the latest one is
Ooh.
we got rolled into, actually. And that's the Pete Blaber's documentary that's coming out that's supposed to say that everybody was lying about John Chapman.
Oh, Petey. Can't help but question the motives.
Yeah, I do question motives. Also, at the same time, that documentary team is following us and tagging us and stuff as well.
Hello, documentary team.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? It's weird because, okay, so I admit that there could be a massive conspiratorial cover-up in order to get John Chapman. The chances are never zero, right? Like, is there a way that they assembled the entire team that they did at AFSOC to review all the footage that we had and to track everything down, and that they decided all of them, people that we know on that team, in our personal lives, that they were all convinced to lie about it in order to get Chapman the MOH?
And not just them. Like the review does not stay within AFSOC. It goes to Big Air Force, then it goes to the Joint Services, and then it goes to the White House is in there, and the Pentagon is in there at some level. So
somewhere, yeah.
I mean, I would not exaggerate. I don't think I would exaggerate if I said that there were 5,000 to 10,000 people that have all touched and viewed the videotape.
Oh, they're all liars. Because
every single one of
them, who admits to being a personal friend with Slab, says he has access to footage that no one else has, and he was there, not there, but in the vicinity, in the country, I guess.
Yeah.
When this happened, so
which definitely means that when I was in country, I knew in detail what Sean Harvell did and what Ish Villegas did and what Rob Gutierrez did.
You didn't even have to tell me about Anaconda, right? Was that Medusa? Was it Medusa, the big op
Medusa.
that you guys did?
For me?
Yeah. You didn't have to tell me about Medusa because I was there in country. I did the first line weather workup for us. So I was like, yeah, of course I knew what Peaches did because I was there and I was following on Merc Chat, which tells me the entire story.
And you definitely knew which way I was moving and which machine gun nest, if I had moved to a machine gun nest. But you knew which one I was for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, if I was on ISR footage, you would know which one I was because the Canadian snipers, they actually surrounded me in kind of a oval / diamond shape. And so I was the guy in the middle.
They were like, hey, so we found out that you're killing way more people than we are. So let's just protect the guy with the radio.
Yeah.
And we'll just reach out and touch someone if we can.
Yeah. It's no, I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. And then let's see, I saw this because, I had to share the documentary team's Instagram because they keep tagging us and stuff. So I was like, well, let me get the CC chat going, which I did. And then somebody said, this is kind of surprising to me because in the mission, and me, he didn't pull any punches on the SEALs' haphazard performances during early Afghanistan. And then I guess, let me see if I can share this screenshot with you because now that everybody's they found that documentary page, and maybe I'm falling right into the hands of the team because they're like, okay, cool, because now people are going to go watch it and stuff like that.
Yeah, you'll get everybody hyped up to go watch it. It's fine. I mean, these people probably spend a ton of time on this, and why not? Let's watch it. See what.
Yeah. So 7 years ago, on the same day as his book launch for Alone at Dawn, Dan Schilling released a highly edited and produced video leaving out 95% available material. It was a promotional tool.
Calling out Dan by name, that's I mean, Dan's not everybody's friend, but dang, that goes hard.
Yeah. So it's you know, as the beret turns, it's going to get interesting as the days go on. And you know, like I said, I am with you. Like I'm not. Is the percentage of fraud in anything zero? No. However, you also have to prove it. And again, to your point, when you have all of these people that have reviewed this stuff and you don't have anybody coming out to include, there's a gunship dude. I think he was a gunship guy who is going on podcasts going like, no, this is legit. And, you know, countering everything that Blaber's saying.
And Dan didn't get, Chapman the Medal of Honor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he wrote the book and like the Medal of Honor just like happened. It's, it went through all the official like I said, we know people that were there at Hurlburt that were put on the team to review all the stuff to put the package together. So it's not just Dan trying to sell books. No matter, I mean, and that seems and that right there, that seems shady. The way that's put, and granted, we are biased. I would never say that I'm not biased. Like I'm not a combat controller, but I'm highly biased just by being part of the, you know, they let me hang around these guys for 20 years, which was really nice. Thanks, guys. But like the fact that no one disputed it really, the facts of it for 20 years. The fact that we know so many people that reviewed all of the footage at the most classified level that Pete says he has access to that no one else has reviewed. The fact that Slab had to get his MOH, which his write-up, I don't think really justified an MOH, if I'm honest. At the same time as Chapman did, there's just all this weird stuff that happens. And then they're going to make a movie about Chapman based on the book and everything else. And then this documentary comes out. It's like even they would have to admit that, like, you talk about promotional tools. There's a movie coming out about John Chapman, and you're going to release the documentary as close to that as possible. Like, you know, come on, guys.
Yep. It's it doesn't sound. It sounds like there's a bit of a double standard there.
And Pete never said this before. Like all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Pete Blaber comes up and is like, so everybody lied except for me.
Yeah, that is kind of, I mean, it's, the timing is always, and you know, cui bono, right? Who benefits? You see an opportunity, you capitalize on it, right? Yeah. That's what he's doing. You know, and listen, I don't know.
Maybe Pete didn't make the best investments when he was active duty. You know what I mean?
I don't know the good colonel at all, the good sir. You know, I enjoyed the book, The Men Mission to Me, like I did.
Wow. And I did not read that book because it sounds ridiculous. Sorry, I thought it was going to be members only for a second and I was going to go, but.
You were about to drop some F-bombs and stuff or what
I mean, you know, the words I say.
The members already got theirs this week. They got a live. And Aaron Love Hate Club popped in there. And
stop complaining, fellas.
Yeah.
The members never complain, by the way, which is weird. I think, if I'm being honest with everybody else, the members probably should complain a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah. If you're not a member, you're getting exactly what you pay for. And you don't pay anything. So there you go. That's what you're getting.
Dude, I tried to explain ads, like free YouTube and ads, to my kids the other day, and they still don't, you know. I don't think they get it, but like they're young.
I want to know when Monster is going to start sponsoring you.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why would they sponsor me? I don't know.
Oh man. Well, we totally went off the rails. You asked me about death by 1,000 clicks. Earlier.
Apparently, so here's the thing: we cannot verify the authenticity of this thing. I'm sure a lot of you saw it on the Book of Faces for the salty Air Force page over there. But apparently an outgoing commander wrote this email and sent it out to everybody. And I don't know if we want to read the entire thing, or if you want to just do a quick synopsis of it. We can skip to the end where it says, you know, it's not the job that kills people's morale. It's all the other little things. It's all the other little things that have nothing really to do with the mission. It's the one CBT only takes a couple minutes, and then you start stacking all those other things on top of it. It's the constant revisions to the requirements. It's every time you move to a new base or you get a new commander, like you have to write your annual reports and all this other stuff differently. The amount of time it takes to do anything, the infrastructure issues with the technology that is supposed to make our lives easier, and then the systems go down and you can't use them when you need to, and you're pulling people off the flight line to do stupid, creepy stuff, and then the system doesn't even work. This is the basic gist of it. It's like the airmen, and this, I think this falls in line with a lot of stuff that we've said over the years, is, man, the talent is there. The vast majority of our airmen and our junior NCOs are hyper, they're very motivated. They'll do whatever you ask them to do. There's nothing that you're going to ask them to do as a force that they're not going to accomplish. But man, do we make it difficult with all this other random crap.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know how many pages is it?
I don't know.
'Cause
I read it in like
it might
15
be worth
seconds
reading.
this morning. Granted, I was post gym when I read it, so I'm sorry that I shared it with you super early your time.
It's okay. All right, I think it's worth reading it, and then if it gets too laborious, let me know, and then I'll shut up. So, all right,
Strap in, folks. Combat controller reading in public.
Tahi Road. Okay, so death by 1,000 clicks. We say we care about airmen. We ask why morale is low. We study why suicide rates remain stubbornly high. We convene panels, commission reports, and comb through data looking for the root cause. And consistently, predictably, the same finding surfaces: overwhelming workload. The assumption is that the workload comes from the mission, that the long hours on the flight line and the late nights troubleshooting aircraft and the relentless push to generate sorties are what grind our people down. Now, let me pause real quick. That is a lot of maintainers. I got to imagine that somebody that wrote a 2 sentences like that has got to be a maintainer background.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on. But that's not the whole truth. Airmen want to work, and I agree with that. They join to serve, send them out to fix the aircraft, to generate combat power, and to produce the mission. They will work relentlessly and walk away with pride in what they've accomplished. There is satisfaction in turning wrenches, launching jets, and knowing who made something real happen. What drains them isn't the mission, it's everything else. And he's 100% right, because I'll tell you what, these aircraft are old, and it takes 1,000 miracles to happen in one go to generate a sortie, without a doubt.
We had AT on a few days ago, right? And he's a pilot, and we just bring up maintenance, and he just goes on, and you gotta be it was a more recent epiphany to me how much maintenance matters to the Air Force and how much they do. Not to belittle anybody else, because we'll talk about every other AFSC later, I promise, and you all are important and we love you. But man, maintenance, they get after it, and it's a tough job. But
that's right. Well, they're
also though the pride. You talk to a maintainer, they love it, and they'll crush it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about people that work on Nellis in the summertime in 115, or Luke Air Force Base in Arizona, 125 degree heat in the middle of the day, getting blasted by the sun. They're out there working. At the same time, somebody in Alaska in the snow in the middle of the night during a snowstorm is turning wrenches, or they're at RAF Mildenhall or Lakenheath in the UK winter, cold, wet, rainy, slipping on black ice on the flight line. These dudes put in work. So, all right, let me continue on. So the next portion, the hour that becomes 3. Consider the simple act of completing a CBT, computer-based training. An airman spends an hour knocking it out. Done. Check the box. Except the system doesn't update. A week later, a section chief has to pull that same airman from the flight line, forcing him to log into a workstation, access the site, download a certificate, and email it to the training manager, because the tracking spreadsheet still shows overdue. The spreadsheet by the way, is probably a home-built product used to track training, a necessary workaround because the database of record, my training, whatever, is fraught with errors. Logging in takes 5 attempts for our airmen and spread across 3 computers. A domain error, a Java update, a few machines sit unusable, waiting for fixes. What should have been completed requirement metastasizes into another hour of pure frustration. No one designed that friction maliciously.
Probably.
As far as you know, sir. But time was wasted all the same.
Yeah.
So, granted, you and I are both retired. I've got to assume I still have to take, I don't know about you, but I still have to take the annual cyber awareness training because I'm logged into government computers. So, like, I will say, although it's a pain in the ass to do every year, they have dialed that in, and it takes no more than 30 minutes now, and the tracking system is relatively accurate.
For your
I'm not
use,
saying he's wrong.
right?
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
And I will say the amount of CBTs that are required, even when on active duty, has decreased. Like I remember you used to have to take computer-based training on how to use a fire extinguisher,
Yeah.
green dot stuff. Like it was just constant. So that has been decreased, which is a good thing. I still don't think it's what right looks like, but it's gotten better.
Even like SEER stuff, I'd be like, I've been to every level of SEER available to me. And they'd be like, no, you got to take the thing. And I'm like, okay, but like, then why did I get slapped around? I don't understand okay, fine. Another CBT.
Yeah, like
for no good
self-aid
reason.
buddy care online. You're like,
Oh my God.
hey, we don't even do this now. Like we're doing TCCC and we've done advanced medical training and that kind of stuff. Like what do? But okay, on to the next section. Technology was supposed to save us. Information technology was supposed to make things easier. Paper forms would disappear. Redundant data entry would vanish. Systems would talk to each other. Automation would reduce workload and free airmen to focus on the mission. Yeah, that did not happen.
That's such a funny paragraph.
Hey, AI is not even there yet. So, I mean, that's just, yeah. Anyway, instead, the scope creeps. A simple tracking tool becomes an enterprise solution. A database becomes a compliance engine. A login becomes an access management workflow bloated with certificates, uploads, and approval chains. Every iteration adds features, but rarely does it subtract complexity. Each feature at its core requires somebody to manually input more information. It is easy for developers and a headquarters to push that effort down to airmen. 100% agree. If you go back to, and any of our STS homies know this, if you look at Skedify, which is a scheduling program, it is hot garbage. And then the unit kind of the enterprise kind of floated out and going like, hey, it's not required to use. Because as soon as people started using it, they were like, dude, this is terrible. And they withdrew and went back to their normal ways. Then this is where the shadiness kind of comes in, because then you get somebody who is buddies with somebody in a different position and is like, hey, check this out. I can provide this solution for you. We can integrate operational risk management into it. We can integrate the warning orders into it, supply requests, equipment requests, and all this kind of stuff. And then you get buddies that are trying to help each other out, and they go, okay, great. Here's $5 million, and we will force the enterprise to use this. And I'll tell you right now, and I know this is a public episode, but I've got a 2-star general that is friends with a 4-star general. The 2-star general's retired and they're friends, and the 2-star general is influencing the 4-star general to force therapy coaching on people.
Oh yeah. Well, you have brought this up before.
Yeah. That is shaped as or dubbed executive coaching, but it's not. Every single person that has done it that provides feedback is like, yeah, that was like a therapy session. I don't know what the point of that was. I'm not doing it again.
Dude, tell me about your feelings. How do you think that you could be a better leader?
Yeah. Instead of, how about you have the active duty people that are instructing them and mentoring them, they are actually the feedback mechanism and the person providing that professional development and mentorship to better them in their career.
Because everybody below me in rank is stupid and they don't know what they're doing. And they should be treated like children.
It's crazy. Okay, continuing on. After all, it only takes a few minutes, but those minutes multiply across thousands of people, and the cost is measured not in dollars, but in frustration. Consider the recent changes to Skills Bridge approval process. Previously, squadron commanders approved applications for their members through a straightforward digital workflow of AFVEC. I'm not sure what that is. Now for many personnel...
Air Force Virtual Education Center, I think.
Boom. There you go. Thank you. Now, for many personnel, that authority has been elevated to the first 06 in the chain of command. However, Air Force Virtual Education System, or Center System, which only allows for 2 approvers, a supervisor and a commander, was not updated to reflect this policy change. Shocking. The result is more... What? The result is more admin burden. The 06, now listed as the official commander, requires assurance that the squadron commander has blessed the request. The squadron commander, in turn, still needs to know the direct supervisor has approved it. Because the system cannot handle this multi-layered approach, units are forced to invent their own local workarounds, manual routing slips, emails, and phone calls simply to document an approval chain that the official system was supposed to manage. The complexity of the process was increased overnight with no thought given to the systems used to execute it. This is not an isolated incident. Think about the equipment data. At the unit level, tools and equipment are tracked in TC Max. It tracks usage, checkout, inspection intervals, serviceability, everything a shop needs to manage its equipment properly. Much of this needs to be in TC Max, as that is a system with the functionality to check equipment in and out, and technicians who work the counter need to know whether an item is serviceable before allowing it to be used, but headquarters requires visibility on whatever system ELMS is.
What is that?
Yeah.
Formerly DPAS.
Yeah. The utility of the enterprise level visibility for equipment status and location is understandable. However, this mandate also means our airmen are now documenting every 90 to 100-day inspections for every single piece of equipment again. And if that's maintenance, guys, that's a lot of equipment and tools. And he says it here, the exact same information twice. And if that equipment is TMDE or PMEL, tracks it in another system, so 3 times. The tally for these redundant entries, and here's the funny thing about it, right, is these things are all different companies. I guarantee it. I don't know for sure, but
they don't talk to each other.
Yeah. Which is they're like, well, that's why you have to enter it 3 times. They're like, why can't we go to one or force the requirement is that these systems talk to each other?
Yeah. Well, because DPAS or ELMS also does other things for the entire enterprise. And so we can't just have the people further up the chain get the TC Max whatever, so they can get in there and look at it and just and fix that. And you know how it goes. It's just like, well, I mean, as a person up at headquarters, I don't need another login to go to TC Max and have to input that data myself because we refuse to No, make them do it. Make the airmen. It only takes a couple minutes. Like you said, it only takes a couple extra minutes. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's it.
I had to do something like that when I was an airman. So,
yeah. So the tally for these redundant entries into ELMS in my unit is 52 man days per year. That equates to one person working for over 10 weeks just to let headquarters know we completed our 90-day inspections. Why do they need this info? They don't. How do I know this? I told my support section 4 months ago to stop inputting inspection updates into ELMS. We caught a fail from our local QA, but so far, nobody outside of this base has noticed. Also, whenever a piece of equipment is tasked to move, they call the shop directly to confirm inspection status. If the inspection isn't done, the shop knocks it out. Nobody above the wing had data like this prior to the internet, and the missions still got done. But now that it is possible to have it, they demand it. It is an ever-creeping, insatiable thirst for data enabled by IT. But it's no big deal. Each item only takes a few minutes. Multiply that by every toolbox, by every calibrated device, and every piece of support equipment across the Air Force. Man years are burned across the force, not because the data is different, but because we could not design a system capable of serving both operational and enterprise needs. Holy cow, he nailed it. Wow. Did I actually go past did I go past?
I mean,
Okay,
then
yeah.
there's the illusion of action at the very.
Yeah, I'll get that. So man, he's not wrong.
Do you know where this? You know where this comes from, right? Like it's how many times have you heard people be like, "Well, we got to make data-driven decisions. We got to make data-driven decisions." You know what I mean? And then they're like, "Well," and then the idea behind that is like we need to be efficient. So instead of guessing at things, like we used to do in the Stone Age, right before the internet and before technology, like instead of like using our brains and asking the experts, we need data-driven decisions, right? So like everybody's obsessed with getting more and more data to just do their job, and their job is to make decisions. And instead of like just asking people and trusting the people below you, you require all this data to get pushed up the chain, because in your mind, you're being more efficient. You're not going to make bad decisions because you have all the data. However, at the lower levels, it just kills everybody. And oh, by the way, I've never been in a place where any of the data flowing upwards is any good.
Yeah. Garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. And that's why it kind of like, now that we've entered this kind of AI era, how many companies now are you seeing that are like, hey, we're an AI driven company? You're like,
yeah,
dude, that's no.
Well, it's only as good as the data it gets, So
exactly.
Yeah. Well, we deal with this in AATC all the time when people are like, we need more data. We need to know these things. But, like if I learned anything through like kind of living through like some of this data revolution stuff, especially on the training side, is that the way the guys used to do things and the way that they wrote it, they weren't stupid. There was a method to the madness, like things that everybody just knows through their experience, right? And you have to be able to justify it. They did a lot of things. They did almost everything like the right way. It's always fun to see the full circle come around, and it's like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. It's like, yeah, that's how they did it 25 years ago, guys. Yeah. And we've been chasing it ever since. And all we did was spend billions of dollars or whatever it is running around in this giant circle to get back to the start.
Yeah. And it was a level of trust that we had, that leadership had in their junior enlisted, junior officers and field grade officers. But also there was a level of trust that your junior enlisted, senior enlisted, and junior officers had in leadership too. And I think that translates, and we saw it at the beginning of Afghanistan, when ISR or have, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance aircraft, whether they were manned or unmanned, were not a requirement to do operations. And then all of a sudden, and you trusted captains, O3s, ODA commanders to go out and do what they needed to do, without any kind of armchair quarterbacking. Now,
and when we're not saying bad things didn't happen, sometimes.
Yes. Mistakes happen, of course, but they're going to happen in combat operations. Now, fast forward towards the end, or even by when did they start making it mandatory for a CONOP approval to have ISR? I don't remember the year, but it was several years in, and then it was, you couldn't leave without 2 planes. One needed to be manned, one needed to be unmanned in terms of ISR. Like dude, and it's all because of that pred porn that was going on.
I know at certain levels they like to have it for certain types of missions, right? Like it was a requirement for some missions based on the level and certain things that, triggers had to be met and all that other stuff. But man, for like a regular, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to denigrate like an ODA. Like I never went to the next tier, right? But like for a regular ODA to roll out to just do anything, they had to have ISR.
Yeah,
That's
it was,
insanity. What if there's a cloud cover and they need to go do something?
and you delay.
That's the
Like that's
dumbest
what.
thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, dude, it is wild, man. Um, and if there's somebody out there that's listening that can refute it, and maybe I'm like, I'll admit, maybe I'm not remembering correctly, but I I remember several that we got delayed because they're like, I've got to have ISR, got to have manned ISR overhead. All right, great.
Was it like if it was a level 1 mission was like the risky ones, like going
Yeah,
on a
level
hit?
level one con op. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, maybe for like level 1s you had to have it.
maybe. I
But
don't
that's
know.
what
Maybe I was
another
just throwing
reason.
out big missions. I don't know.
Well, there's another reason why guys would put up a ton of level 2s, and like I think the Siege of SOF got wise to it after a while. They're like, I don't think it sounds like that's eerily close to a place where you guys have been pulling a lot of data from. We're like, oh no, we were just gonna go out there and do a med cap. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Nah, man, this level 2 just happened to turn into one hell of a freaking firefight.
I don't know. I don't know.
Whoopsies. All right, let me continue on with the illusion of action. And then leadership asks, with all this stress, how can we help? We introduce master resilience trainers. I don't know what those are. Master
Those like
resilience.
therapy enterprise or therapy executive coaches.
Maybe. They might be, actually. We mandate that each unit maintain a certain number of specialty trained airmen to coach others through stress and adversity. The most consistently identified stressor is high workload. Our solution is to create another additional duty, or we institute maintenance down days, a break from the flight line work. It sounds compassionate. It sounds bold. I liken it to those viral internet protests that declare, let's teach the oil industry a lesson and not buy gas on the 16th of May. Unless you fundamentally change your commute, you will still need that gas. You'll just end up buying it on 17 May, which I have also always agreed with. I'm like, I don't understand these single day boycotts of, hey, we're not going to use our Visa cards today. Like, it doesn't work because now if you're buying food, you're just going to buy the same amount or more food the following days. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yep. I think he went on further. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maintenance is no different. The aircraft still need to be fixed. The sorties still need to be generated. The inspections still need to happen. A down day does not erase the workload. It just defers it. And everyone knows it. The down day actually becomes anxiety inducing. The shadow of tomorrow hangs over it. The backlog looms. What a lazy answer. It produces a slide. It creates a headline. It feels like relief, but it doesn't stop the flood. Now, I will say that that's why for like us, we try our best to not back up sorties, not generate sorties up until a goal day or a down day, a maintenance day. We try and ease that in, but it's tough sometimes. Like there's definitely a friction between operations and maintenance, without a doubt.
Well, and it's just, again, it's when you have like a maintenance down day or like one of those resiliency days, like what's the level of command required to like create one of those? Because we're not relying on squadron commanders to be like, hey guys, like we don't have that many sorties on this day. I'm just going to leave 2 people home. Like I don't need a full crew, like it just seems like there's not as much flexibility to get this stuff done. And then that's not even the problem. The problem is also like this guy's talking about. It's just all the other stuff that's not maintenance. It's all the other crap. And then for anybody that's not been in the military, none of these computer systems they weren't built by Apple. All right. These are not user-friendly apps. They are garbage. They were built on Windows 95 and they're trying to run on the current operating system and they are horrific to try to get through.
I'm not exaggerating. Every day when I'm at work, I have to restart my computer about 4 times, 3 to 4 times every single day. Like sometimes I know that I'm starting to get to that point where the computer, so I can actually click, restart and select restart, where there are other times where I have to do the hard restart or the soft restart and hold the button down, which definitely messes it up even more because turning it back on takes double or triple the time.
Yeah, but like he said too, like they just keep writing code on top of code and things. Like we don't get rid of anything. There's never a clean start to anything. So
No.
these systems, like it just takes up more RAM and memory and all that other stuff to just keep fixing things and making them better over time. And it's just, it's a disaster.
Yeah, it's not great. The flood. No single raindrop believes it is responsible for the flood. What I have mentioned here is a few examples, but anyone in the Air Force, anyone with any Air Force time can name 10 more affecting them every day.
I just want to tell people, if you are that raindrop, it's okay to believe in yourself that you caused the flood. You know what I mean? Like you got to get out there and believe.
You need to take some extreme ownership of that. All right.
Yeah. And as Pete Blaber said.
Yeah. No single CBT, certificate upload, dual entry requirement, additional duty, system outage, or down day seems catastrophic. Each requirement is still small. Each task is still justifiable in isolation, but collectively, they are drowning our airmen. The waste of time is not accidental. It's embedded. It is coded into our system, routed through our processes, and normalized in our culture. We have built an enterprise that treats the minutes of our airmen as expendable. If we are serious about readiness, about resilience, and about saving lives, the answer will not be another program, another platform, another compliance mechanism, or another symbolic pause. It'll be subtraction. It will require the disciplined, uncomfortable work of eliminating everything that does not directly enable the mission. Our airmen are not afraid of hard work. They're exhausted from the work that does not matter. Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah. That's why I sent it to you at 4:45 your time.
Dude, I love it. I definitely didn't have time to read it, but at the time, but I'm glad I took the time to read it now because I completely agree with all of it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't do that much of a different type of job than I did when I was on the training side, right? As like a training manager type.
Right.
I'm not a training manager because that's an actual duty title, but like I do a lot of the same stuff. But when people are like, what's it like to be retired? Like, what do we all talk about? The best part about being retired is I don't have to do all these CBTs. I don't have these annual reports. I don't have a million different like additional duties that I have to do. I don't have to get into the stupid ammo system to try to, designate ammo for all the guys for the next year. And that system is redonkulous and whatever your additional duty is, right? Like I just get to do my job. That's the best part about being retired. It's not doing work. It's not doing work that doesn't matter. It doesn't do anything.
100%. And, I kind of equate it to the MH-53s when they were a thing in the Air Force. They had an issue because, and it's actually not just the 53, like I'm sure it's the case in a lot of our aircraft that we have, but like the 53 itself had a significant weight capacity. Like it was very strong. It wasn't as strong. The MH-53 was not as strong as the current MH-47, but it was pretty good. The problem is that it was so weighed down with extra wires that were no longer usable. So what would happen is you have all this wiring in the aircraft and you have all these server racks, but like no kidding server racks in the 53. And instead of, oh, hey, we no longer use that system, or, we don't need that wiring harness or whatever that's integrated into the thing. We don't use that anymore. It gets bypassed. They just leave it in there because it's easier. And I can appreciate that too, right? I can appreciate that it's easier, but I think they had said 10,000 pounds of wiring, extra wiring that was not usable.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. And so we're losing lift capability because of it. And I'm sure there's other aircraft. I'm sure some of the older C-130s are the exact same thing. Some of the B-52s, same thing.
Yeah. It'd be like taking an MC-130 and then making it a regular again. And it's just like leaving all that crap in there. It's like, well, I mean, we pulled out like the end of it. We pulled out the computer or whatever, but it's like, what about everything behind it? It's like, it's fine.
Don't worry. It won't. It's not that much weight.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just how would, if you were, how would you go about this? Like at what level does that have to be fixed though? You know, like this guy makes a great point, right? And I'm hyped up about it. It's hard not to cheer at the end of it. But because when what's his bucket was in charge? Who was the pilot that got shot down that was in charge of the Air Force, the CSAF there for a while?
Oh, Goldfein?
Yeah, even when Goldfein was in charge.
Yep.
We've talked about this. Him, they said the team up there was like, we're getting rid of all the extra crap. We don't, like, they said that in essence, they were like, get rid of everything that does not directly lead to mission accomplishment and increased lethality. And Jared, what happened as that message percolated down the chain of bureaucracy?
It got diluted, and people are like, yeah, but that's my system, or I find that important. And no, I know what CSAF said, but we're keeping it.
Yeah, you have mass non-compliance. So like from the officer corps, like you have the chief of staff of the Air Force, the four-star, right? Four-star in charge of everything, saying, get rid of all the extra stuff. So like, to me, the first step should be, based on that example, the first thing to cut is a whole bunch of the extraneous officers, civilians, and probably E9s and E8s, because that seems to be the place where they're the ones holding the dam up. You know what I mean? And just making those airmen drown in those waters back there.
I've got a real world example that I was in. So he was the commander of ACC at the time, right? He has now gone up to be the CSAF, but at the time he was ACC commander, and he's in a kind of an all call, right?
Yeah.
And he said the same thing. He essentially, he's like, you know, all the admin creepy stuff, he's like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
And everybody's kind of like, he could see that kind of bewilderment. He's like, seriously, just don't do it. Like, what, you know, what's the big deal? And then
he's like, I don't care about McT, guys. I'm not coming down on you if your McT checklist doesn't look perfect. Like, stop doing it. Yeah.
And then the wing commander pops in. He goes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But for anybody that doesn't, I'll find you, you know? And he kind of did the awkward laugh, but at the same time, like, everybody's like, okay, well, status quo then.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's embedded, and it's not that you get every once in a while, you get a really good one at the top of something,
yep.
Right? And they're like, get rid of it. But all those dudes that are still trying to make that next bird or star or whatever, or make E10, they're the ones that are like, nah, we're gonna keep on keeping on, because otherwise, what am I doing with my day? How am I gonna determine who below me is my favorite? You know,
dude, it's wild, man. It's wild. And you know, this sounds like a negative Nancy episode or whatever you want to say, but really, it's just we're saying it because we care, right? We care. We recognize it. We experienced it. We see it in our airmen. We want the next generation to thrive better than we did. And so, shockingly, which is really weird to even say or think about, quite a few commanders, lieutenant colonels, 06s, full bird colonels actually listen to us, which is super weird.
And I was going to bring that up because it's shocking to me too, because we talk a lot of smack about officers, but I think the reason they listen, and I was going to make this point, is because we talk so much smack about the officers. Like, there is a core inside the officer corps that is exactly what we need, right? It's just, it doesn't take that many at the right places, right? And they don't want to have to be in a single line, just like one here, one over there, one over here, to jack it up for everybody. I don't think there's anybody that would like to get rid of the worthless officers more than the officers that are doing their job and crushing themselves, trying to like make the mission happen and take care of their airmen.
Absolutely. Completely agree with it.
Because it was very confusing to me for a long time that officers listened, you know, like,
so you finally figured it out. I thought maybe you're right. We do talk a lot of stuff. So maybe trash about them. So maybe it was like some kind of like dominatrix thing, like, tell me what a piece of shit I am kind of thing.
Yeah. 50 Shades of One's ready.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So, all right, man. Well, thanks for sharing that. I'm glad we covered it today.
Yeah. I think next time I met a couple special warfare guys out at BMT, during my day job, so we didn't have a lot of time to talk. But it's something we need to cover next time. This is what we call a teaser. Is we will talk about what you need to do during basic training now that we don't have special warfare only flights going through basic training and you're not seeing the pool. So we're going to get in there and let you all know what's happening if you haven't heard, and then give you a little bit of advice on how to still be successful, going through this, mixed in with everybody else, all the regulars,
That's right.
Because you're special. You're special.
And if nobody's told you that, trust me, you are. You're special.
We think you're special. And we'll tell you that when you get to the pipeline every day.
You deserve that trophy. Yeah. You deserve that Klondike bar.
Yeah, go get that brownie, bro.
Yeah, that's right. You deserve it. So anyway, everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Visit us over on onesready.com for any kind of merch. We are having a resupply as well as some new designs pop up here pretty soon. And we have our operator training summit scheduled for August in San Diego. September will be in Pennsylvania, and then shooting for University of Miami in Ohio in October. And then I teased it yesterday because I haven't talked to you guys about it, but I'd like to float the idea of maybe a December in Vegas again. Like,
hey, Merry Christmas to me.
That's right. So
see the homies in Vegas. Come on, that's a wonderful time to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, and our resupply, unlike some hasty HL or hasty LZ setups, our C-130 never gets stuck because we do our job the right way. I'm just saying.
And on that note, we'll see you later.
See you later, y'all.
Team ready! Exercise 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2.
I'm too locked in. I've been on a run like God. These critics wanna hate, I'm a certified problem. Blood, sweat, tears, that's 24 hours. Respect on my name, I don't trust you cowards. Independent winner, but I count my blessings. I don't know about sex, like I learned my lesson. Don't test them, let me go put it on record. I'm in the top 5 of the top 5 network. Way back when, they ain't believing me. This took years, I ain't do recently. Tell me what they see me, feeling like a deity. Ain't nobody better now, I got them all fearing me. Ain't nobody better when I'm done, and that's period. My point like a pyramid, can't rule this a tyranny. One shot here left, I'm gonna take. Look, my